Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Uh, yeah, this weekend I was not active. I have not been active at nighttime for the past 4 days. Yeah. I don't know, just me trying to sort some stuff out and everything. Don't worry about it. Everything's a-okay. Just some stuff I kind of had to figure out. But I think pretty much everything's a little bit set up, nice and neat. Something like that. uh, so how are you guys doing today? You guys doing okay? It's a little warmer today, supposedly, I guess. Feels just the same as it has been for the past couple days. Or, sorry. I know I yawn a lot. Nah, I was lied to. Someone this morning told me it was going to be 95. It's going to be, the high's going to be a 90. It's not that bad. These lies. 90 degrees ain't too bad. It's hot, but it ain't like super hot. Yeah, Saturday I had a pretty good day. I had a barbecue with my friends. We had steak, ribs, hot dogs, uh, chicken, a lot of Oreos, a little bit of choco flan, a couple cupcakes. Yeah, that was it. It was fun seeing everybody. Well, mostly everyone. We were still missing three. One who had just moved and was busy getting settled in. Another one that I know just didn't show. And the other one who I think accidentally confused the dates somehow. Because later on they said, oh, Shiza. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they confused the date. Yep, I'm fairly confident they confused the date. A bit of a shame, really. So, yeah, it was a good day yesterday. I don't know, I was just thinking about stuff. But, it's alright now. Uh, yeah, so in place of, doing something on those 2 days, I uploaded two short, very, very short videos from vacation, and yeah, went up to Morro Bay in California. It was pretty cool. The town itself is kind of a sleeper, as in not very interesting. uh, yeah, I definitely would not want to live there. It's quite isolated, and the nearest GameStop's like 40 something minutes away. And that's without traffic. Jeez. Yeah, I don't think I could live somewhere so I mean, uh, man, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I've given up. Well, either way, you're probably tired of me rambling on and on and on about whatever the hell I'm doing. Oh yeah, I started. If you're curious, I started studying for my LSAT, which is going to be August 17th, I think. So I'm trying to, do like about an hour a day of studying. At least that's what Khan Academy, my Lord and Savior, recommended to me. I used Khan Academy for like the longest time, from like not elementary, but like maybe end of elementary, beginning of no, it was definitely just middle school because I sucked at math and I needed help because I sucked so bad. Yeah, it was either Khan Academy or get a tutor, and I didn't want to talk to somebody, so I just went with Khan Academy. So thank you, Mr. Khan. Mwah. You're an absolute godsend. All right, you're tired of me rambling on, so let's get down to the meat and bones of today. Bam Tower, 5:38 p.m. Eventually, Caden drives the team right to the basement parking lot entrance, and already you can see 5 armed guards patrolling the entrance, and a row of barriers that will stop the van dead in its tracks. As Caden drives towards the gate, 3 of the security guards converge and casually watch. This is the part where you imagine that if you did anything stupid, everyone inside the van will be lit up within seconds. Stay calm, just play your role. You hear Gabriel whisper as everyone in the cargo compartment starts finding a place to hide. All the guards around you appear to be wearing black uniforms with military gear. They all even have ranks on their shoulders below the Vamp Corps V badge. Fortunately, the gate's booth is on Caden's side, so he's going to be the one doing the talking. There's a single guard in the booth, and you catch a glimpse of an MP5 submachine gun in the corner of the booth. The guard turns to Caden and asks, "Can I help you?" "Yeah, we've got a delivery for. He looks around the dashboard before realizing the clipboard is in front of you. He grabs it and reads, "Miss Fitra Aisha." "Corrigan. Hang on. I gotta confirm this. May I see that clipboard?" the guard says. "Yeah, sure thing." Hayden reluctantly gives the guard the clipboard. He reads it for a second, then hands it back to Caden. "One moment," he says, turning back to his computer and typing a few things. Then he picks up the phone and dials the number. Caden looks to you and smiles nervously. "It'll be fine." "Hey, Cave, got that sample ready?" he whispers. The guard turns back to Caden. "All right, can I see some ID, please?" He turns to one of the other guards and shouts, "Corporal, could you check the back, please?" "Oh, shit." The other guard nods and walks over to the back of the van. Caden tries to stop him. "Oh, no need. We have a sample ready. Would you like to try some?" he says as Justin hands the tray to Caden and he shows it to the guard. "It's all right. We just need to confirm the shipment," the guard says casually. Ah, shit. The other guard's getting closer to the back door. Caden's at a loss for words. This is it. They're gonna find Gabriel, Raquel, and Michael. Unless you say something. "Wait, you wouldn't want to spoil the Corrigan's food, would you?" you shout, trying to seem as natural as possible. You don't even know what a Corrigan is, but you just roll with it. "We got the food in an alright seal back there. The Corrigan would want their food perfectly untouched, and you wouldn't want the outside air contaminating it." Okay. Passed. The guard looks at you both suspiciously. "Yeah, I guess I wouldn't want her breathing down my neck." He sighs. The guard nods to his colleague, and he eventually opens the gate for you in the van. "Hey, thanks, man," Caden says as he drives the van through. "Well, that went smoothly," Gabriel says. "All right, Justin. You'll be going there." He points to a security room at the far end of the parking lot. "I need you to patch into their cameras and loop them." "I can do that," Justin says. "All right, good luck." Gabriel taps Justin's shoulder, and without warning, Justin opens his door as Caden turns the van to the left. Justin hops out and dashes in a crouch towards the security room. "White, what about me?" Mouse asks. "Well, you can stay here where it's safe. Make sure to start the van as soon as you see any of us come down through the elevator. Or you could come with us, which is surely a lot more dangerous." Mouse thinks about it for a few seconds before turning to you, awaiting your command. "Stay in the van." Mouse nods in acknowledgement. As Caden drives the van towards the hall where the elevator is, Gabriel points out a parking lot. There. That should be a blind spot. Park there." "But that's a handicap spot," Caden says. "Then take the one next to it." "Got it." Caden drives the van to the parking spot, parking it next to a large pillar, blocking the rear part of the van from the CCTV a few feet away. "All right, let's get out. Put your mask on as you go around the back," Gabriel says as he opens the back door and hops out with Raquel and Michael. You hop out of the van and pull out your mask from beneath your suit, then put it on. You wear your bloody white mask with a broken heart snuggled against your face as comfortably as you can have it, making a good fit. Caden pulls out his own mask, which you're finally seeing for the first time, which is a yellow mask with a red hand showing the middle finger. He puts it on and walks over to the back of the van. Everyone gathers at the back of the van and looks around to make sure the coast is clear, before making their way to the hallway where the elevator is. Which weapon would you like to use? The Ronald Ray gun, the AR-15 rifle. Hell yeah, boy. With your weapon at the entrance, you walk over to the hallways. With your weapon at the ready, you walk over to the hallway's entrance. As you turn the corner, you see a lone guard sitting behind a counter reading a magazine. He nonchalantly looks up from his magazine as you approach. His eyes widen when he sees you in your bloody white mask with a broken heart. He reaches for his pistol. Quick, you need to react. You don't want to do that, you say as the guard is about to pull out his pistol. And past. The guard stares at you, then slowly lets go of his pistol before raising his hands. Both you and Raquel and Gabriel hold him at gunpoint as Raquel walks around the desk and snatches the keycard out of his breast pocket. Thank you, Gabriel says as Raquel rears back with her shotgun and smacks the guard in the back of the head. The guard collapses to the ground, unconscious, almost immediately. As Emran walks down the hall towards the elevator, you hear him mouse over the radio. CCTV is looped. I won't be seeing you anytime soon. Alright, thanks. He pushes the button and calls the elevator, which is currently several floors up. The five of you are currently standing in front of a closed elevator door. Nothing happening, and everyone's simply... Oh, sorry. Nothing's happening, and everyone's simply waiting for the door to open. Hayden looks around the place and asks, Do you think anyone else has tried to break in here? If they did, we wouldn't have heard about them, Gabriel chuckles. Looks like we won't be using the parachute after all. Who knows? Vamcorp is full of surprises, Gabriel says. Ding! The elevator door opens up, revealing a single person inside. He doesn't appear to be a guard. He's wearing a simple janitor's uniform and holding a cleaning cart. The young janitor freezes when he sees your group. Then his jaw drops. He takes a step back. His knees shake and his eyes fill with terror. He's scared shitless. As the elevator door starts to close, Michael holds them open and simply says, Out, 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 out. With the most intimidating, electronically distorted voice you've heard so far. The janitor nods nervously and rushes out of the elevator with the cleaning cart. As he passes by, you hear Michael whisper, Raquel. Raquel immediately wraps one of her arms around the janitor's neck, and her hand presses over his mouth as Michael walks over. Michael slams the butt of his Mateba revolver against the side of the janitor's temple. And at first it doesn't knock him out as he continues to struggle. Before Michael slams him on top of his skull once more. This time, knocking him out. Raquel lets the body fall limp to the floor. Michael looks at Gabriel, who just stares at him in disagreement. The two stare at each other, communicating via staring contest as usual, before Gabriel sighs and walks into the elevator. Raquel and Michael walk into the elevator, leaving the body of the janitor on the floor, and you and Caden follow. You, Caden, Gabriel, Michael, and Raquel all crowd into the elevator as the doors close. Gabriel looks at the buttons and realizes something. Shit, this only goes to the 80th. The floor too. Bless you, Caden and Michael say. Michael takes a look at the buttons and presses the one for the 80th floor. Then we'll have to find another elevator floor. Even with all of you in full gear, it's not as crowded as you think. It is, after all, a service elevator. Caden leans back against the wall of the elevator nonchalantly, crosses his arms as he waits. How many are on the 80th floor? He asks. Gabriel Gabriel shrugs as he calmly fixes his suit beneath his body armor. I'm guessing that it's a penthouse floor, so there's going to be around 10 to 15 people, not including civilians. Then we'll either try to be stealthy or take them on, Michael says, casually checking the ammo in his MG4. Forgive me, but... Gabriel reaches around and pushes the button for the 79th floor. I'd like to not get more shot up than I have to. Thank you. Very well. We'll get out on the 79th floor and find an elevator that goes up to the top there. Michael says, Mouse, give me a cigarette. Gabriel sneezes. On the floor. The 79th floor currently has. Hang on. You can hear him counting. 7 guards in all? Well, shouldn't be, huh? Ah! Bless you, Kaden and Michael say. Thank you, Gabriel says, desperately cleaning the inside of his mask with the tissue. Gabriel and Kaden don't seem tense, or at least they're trying not to be. Michael and Raquel are as unreadable as ever. Everyone remains silent as the elevator rises through floor after floor. Gabriel looks to Kaden and asks. Gabriel looks to Kaden and asks, Kaden, do you think shotgun wounds are worse than any other firearm wounds? Kaden shrugs. I mean, it sure sucked to get hit by a buckshot. Raquel looks at Gabriel and stares at him, as if questioning him. I mean, it's not like I want to stand in front of what? What? Bless you, Kaden and Michael say. God, I need to get something for this when we get back. Raquel rummages through her kits and pulls out what appears to be paracetamol? Paracetamol. She hands them to Gabriel and stares at him. Seriously. Raquel nods. We're inside a building full of people waiting to kill us as soon as they see us, Gabriel says. Raquel takes out a canteen of water and hands it to him. Gabriel sighs and raises his mask, and sure enough, he's still wearing a ski mask and sunglasses underneath. No wonder if he'll ever show you who he is. He lifts the ski mask, revealing some of his lower jaw. Do your best to try and recognize it, but no one comes to mind. He pops a couple of pills into his mouth before grabbing the water and taking a few swigs. He hands the canteen back to Raquel. Thank you. Raquel nods and puts the canteen and paracetamol back into her bag. Ding! 79th floor. The elevator door opens, revealing an empty lobby. Gabriel and Raquel walk out first, weapons drawn. He searches to the right as Raquel searches to the left. Where? Gabriel says. Michael walks out and urges all of you to follow. Which way? He asks. You hear a mouse over the earpiece. If you look to your left, there should be a hallway. Go down that and turn right. Michael turns to his left and gazes down the hall, which corners into another hallway to the right. You prepare yourself to go there. Which weapon would you like to use? I don't know, double pistol seems pretty badass right now. So shooty shooty bang bang and smile. Your 2 Beretta M9 pistols. Let's move quickly. You don't want to be cornered. This place is a death trap. Gabriel says as he takes point and walks out into the hallway, holding his weapon firmly pointed down the hall. Raquel taps Gabriel's shoulder, and the two of them stop moving and press against the right wall of the hallway. Gabriel looks back at the rest of you and gestures to stick to the walls and keep quiet. You do so. Michael walks up behind Raquel and taps her shoulder, and Raquel taps Gabriel's shoulder. Raquel looks behind him and sees Michael giving him some sort of signal. Gabriel nods and starts moving quietly down the hall, sticking to the side wall. As you sneak toward the corner, you notice that neither Michael, Gabriel, nor Raquel are making any noise whatsoever. Compared to the rest of you, they're virtually silent. Tap Michael's shoulder. You tap Michael's shoulder. He turns around and puts his finger to his mask. He starts making hand signals that you don't quite understand. Even if you were to learn sign language, you don't think these are normal hands gestures. He turns back down the hall and focuses once more. You try to be as silent as you possibly can. Well, we made it. Gabriel props his back against the wall. right before the corner. He sets his rifle carefully and quietly to the side before peeking ever so slightly around the corner. He takes a good long peek around the corner before slowly going back. He turns to everyone and gestures for all of you to follow quietly. Gabriel readies his rifle and takes point around the corner. Which weapon would you like to use? Well, shoot, I guess I'm on a ray gun. Raquel follows behind Gabriel and Michael follows behind her, while you follow behind him. You aim your rifle down the hall as you go around the corner, and you see yet another elevator lobby on the left side, with about 5 people standing guard. The guard appears oblivious to you and your group as they lean back and chat with each other, relaxed and carefree. Gabriel gestures for everyone else to stick to the left side wall, out of sight from the lobby. You carefully move to the left, putting your back up against the wall, rifle at the ready. You then see Gabriel and Raquel quietly pulling out their knives. Gabriel is using his karambit knife while Raquel is using her combat knife. The two of them stop just short of the corner. They're so close, you can hear the conversation on the other side of the corner in the lobby. I mean, who do you think he is? Walking through here like he owns the place? Didn't you hear? He's Don Lavadenchi's stepbrother. Here, I can smell it. That guy smells like a walking narcotics evidence locker. Why the hell are we guarding him again? Don't know, man. But as long as I'm getting paid, I'm good. Just then, Gabriel and Raquel dash around the corner with their knives. You, Kaden, and Michael follow quickly behind them. As you go around the corner, you see Gabriel slicing the back of the guard's leg with his karambit. The guard falls to the ground, and Gabriel rears back and punches the guard straight in the face, who falls unconscious after a single strike. Fucking Christ! Kyle! Guard in front of the two takes a step back in surprise, quickly raising his suppressed MP5 submachine gun and fires at Gabriel. You see a puff of smoke erupt from Gabriel's chest before you turn and see Gabriel jumping onto the guard, who she starts stabbing repeatedly in the shoulder as he falls to the ground. She reels back and punches the guard in the face 3 times before he finally falls unconscious. The other guards turn and reel back in surprise, but they soon raise their weapons and aim it at all of you. Quick, do something. Shoot them! Where do you shoot? I guess these guys are just doing their job. But headshots would also be very impressive. Helmet popping or leg popping? Kneecaps. Okay, kneecaps. You aim down the scope of your rifle and pull the trigger. Bang, bang! And we passed. Because weapon accuracy's high. We gotta fix this in like the second one, dude. You fire and it hits one of them directly in the thigh. She falls backwards and crumples to the ground, grunting in pain. The other guard aims his rifle at you, but before you can fire, bang, bang! 2 shots hit him right in the body armor. He crumbles to the ground, groaning in pain as he holds his chest. You look behind you and see Michael still pointing his revolver at the incapacitated guard. You okay? He asks before you can answer him. You okay? He asks. But before you can answer him, you see Gabriel ducking behind him. Boom! Raquel blasts her shotgun directly over Gabriel's head at the last guard, who is hiding inside the elevator. Gabriel gets up and fixes his suit. Whew! That was fun. He reloads his rifle. You spot a small trickle of blood dripping down from inside his vest. He appears to have been hit, but he doesn't realize it. Gabriel adjusts his mask and looks back at everyone. Let's get moving. But then you hear shouting from behind as 3 guards rush around the corner and open fire at you. You, Kaden, and Michael run to the elevators. Gabriel pushes the elevator button, and one of the doors open up. Get inside! Let's move! He shouts. Everyone quickly rushes inside the elevator just as the doors start to close. You cram into the elevator with everyone as the doors fully close. Gabriel scans the buttons on the panel. Ah, here it is. He presses the button for the 82nd floor. Canyon takes a moment to nonchalantly sit down in the corner of the elevator. You think our guy's still up there? He asks. Gabriel tries to catch his breath as he calmly counts the number of magazines he has left. You can see that he's shot, however, his hands are still, and his legs stand firm. Probably. I sure hope so. What here of all places, anyway? Kanan asks. He wasn't expecting us to go after him in the tower. He knows that this is the safest place in Chicago. He probably thinks he'll be safe up there. He'll probably be safe up there. There. Bless you, Kaden and Michael say. Thank you, says. He better be up there, Michael says, staring at the elevator door. Everyone continues to walk in silence as the elevator takes you further up the tower. You can't help but tremble. Being in an elevator inside a tower populated by people who will kill you as soon as they see you. Raquel nudges Gabriel. He turns to her and she points at the blood dripping down from his vest. I'll be fine. Raquel shakes her head. Save the first aid kit for later. I'll be fine, he says, standing firm against a clearly painful wound bleeding beneath his armor. Raquel sighs and slaps him on the shoulder. Ah, shit, Gabriel hisses. The eerie silence grows once more as the elevator ascends to the tower. It takes quite a while before finally... Ding! There it is, the floor you've been waiting for. Everyone flicks the safeties off their weapon, and so do you. You grip your weapon tightly as the door slowly opens. As the door opens, Gabriel quickly rushes out, rifle drawn. Raquel follows him, followed by Michael, you, and Caden. You all make your way down a very wide, modern, and luxurious hallway. Everything in just the lobby itself is probably worth a fortune. The chandeliers, chairs, tables, even the floor tiles are probably quite valuable. Everyone stops at the far end of the lobby, right at the corner that leads down to the target room. Gabriel turns and makes sure everyone is ready before taking a peek around the corner. After a few seconds, he turns and gestures for everyone to wait. Then he taps Raquel on the shoulder. She nods and switches places with him, propping herself up against the wall right before the corner and pulls out her combat knife as Gabriel pulls out his pistol. Raquel taps her own shoulder, and Gabriel puts his hand on it, taps twice before letting go. Seems like Gabriel, Raquel, and Michael have some sort of bond-based communication that you can't quite understand yet. You and everyone else prepare yourselves. Which weapon would you like to use? Shooty shooty bang bang and smile, your two Beretta M9 pistols. A few seconds later, you hear footsteps coming from around the corner. Gabriel grabs Raquel's shoulder, and she very slowly lowers her posture into a crouch, as if she's ready to pounce. A few seconds after that, the footsteps grow louder. You see the shadow of a guard approaching the corner. Gabriel, very slowly, raises his pistol as Raquel very slowly raises her knife. As soon as the guard comes around the corner, Gabriel taps Raquel's shoulder, and Raquel launches from her pose, pounces on the guard in the blink of an eye. Before the guard can even scream, Raquel digs her knife deep into his throat, cutting off the airway. She pounced on the guard so fast and hard, it threw him up against the wall. Gabriel quickly rushes around the corner and fires a single shot off at a target you haven't seen yet. But as you move forward and peek around the corner, you see a guard crumple to the ground, the back of his head squirting out blood. With a quick set of movements, they dispatch the two guards in sync. Gabriel quickly rushes down the hall, and Raquel follows. You, Michael, and Caden rush around the corner, following the two of them as they move quickly down the hall. Then you hear a shout from behind you. Freeze! Don't move, or we'll... Shit! Michael turns around and fires with a barrage of machine gun fire. Bang, bang, bang! You rush to get out of the line of fire as his bullets decimate the other side of the hallway. So much for trying to be quiet, Gabriel shouts. All of the expensive walls and floor tiles destroyed in mere seconds as Michael unloads his MG4. All the guards quickly jump behind cover, but a couple of them get hit and fall to the ground as the bullets send debris flying through the hallway.
creating a visual barrier of smoke and debris. Gabriel, find the room, Michael shouts. What do you think I'm doing? Gabriel shouts as he runs from door to door. You see Raquel running from door to door too, but then she stops in front of one door. She rushes over to Gabriel and pulls him towards the door. Room 82F. What? Oh, line up, Gabriel shouts through his microphone. You and Caden rush over to the door where Gabriel and Raquel are, while Michael continues firing down the hall. Michael, come on! Michael stops firing for a few seconds. Then he takes out a smoke grenade, pulls the pin, throws it down the hall before continuing firing, walking backwards towards you. Just reach it. Gabriel gives a nod to Raquel, and she points her shotgun directly at the doorknob at point blank range and boom! Doorknob bends inward, but the door is still closed. As smoke rises from the canister, engulfing the other side of the hallway, Michael turns to the door and seeing Raquel shooting the doorknob, he takes a running start before kicking the door. However, it remains closed. Ah! You know that's Michael. Ah! What the hell? He pulls back after possibly hurting his ankle. Damn it! Raquel, did you bring any explosives? Gabriel asks. Raquel shakes her head. Gabriel sighs and tries to think of something as Michael reloads and goes straight back to shooting down the hallway. Well, they might not have been prepared and brought C4, but we did. So use my block of C4. You pull out your block of C4 and plant it just below the handle. Everyone takes a few steps back as you pull out the detonator. Take a few steps back yourself and pull the trigger. Boom! A huge concentrated explosion erupts in front of the door. You take a look at the damage and holy shit. I kid you not, the door's still standing. The frame and wall around it are all damaged beyond the repair, but the metal door is still standing there, mocking you. Frustrated, Gabriel takes a running start and kicks the door, which results in him getting thrown back a few steps. Ah! Shit, my ankle! Achoo! Bless you! Hayden and Michael shout. Hayden decides to pull out a set of lockpicks and gives it a try. However, when he walks over to the door and sees the locking mechanism, he puts his lockpick set back and says, I don't even know where to start. Anything, Michael shouts as he continues firing down the hallway. I don't know. I knew Vamcorp would be paranoid, but not this paranoid. Gabriel shouts back angrily. He kicks the door, but then grabs onto it, running in pain. Ah, shit! What the hell is this thing made of? We went through the floors of highly trained security agents and were halted by a fucking door. Michael shouts into his distorted voice as he grows impatient. Cover me, I'm reloading. Hayden turns around and fires his P90 down the hallway to cover for Michael as he reloads the belts of ammunition into his machine gun. Gabriel desperately tries to think of a plan, pacing back and forth with a slight limp. Then he stops and gazes at the door. This is stupid, but I have a plan. What? Michael shouts. Everyone, come with me. Me! He rushes back down the hall toward the elevator. Everyone turns around and follows Gabriel as he rushes back down the hallway, while Michael continues the barrage of suppressive machine gun fire. Gabriel rushes into the lobby, runs to the elevator, and quickly presses the button. He turns the corner into the lobby and take cover, waiting for the elevator to come. Ding! One of the elevators opens and Gabriel rushes inside. You and everyone else follow suit, with Michael being the last one after covering everyone else's retreat. The doors close and Gabriel pushes the button for the 83rd floor, just one floor up. It's not a long ride, and as soon as the doors open again, Gabriel rushes off to where the target room should be on the lower floor. They locked the door. They locked the door below from the inside, and we wouldn't be able to get inside the door unless they have it, unless they unlock it from the inside. So what are we doing here? Michael asks in frustration. I'm hoping to find the room above it empty, meaning they locked it from the outside, which I should be able to trick into opening. He sneezes as he starts scanning the room numbers. This better work, Michael shouts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This room, he shouts as he stops at one of the rooms. Room 83F. Gabriel checks the doorknob, and it's locked. Here's hoping it's empty. He runs to the nearest fire alarm and punches the glass with his fist. Ringing! Seemingly endless ringing pierces your ears. Gabriel rushes to the door and tries to open it, and it swings open easily. What exactly are we doing? Hayden asks. Gabriel rushes into the empty room as the sprinkler shower everyone with a cold rain. He starts looking around the floor, tapping and stomping on it. There! He points to the floor below the extremely expensive-looking glass table. Achoo! Oh, I see, Michael says. Then he points his machine gun at the floor and starts firing at it until he runs out of ammo. Raquel joins in and starts firing at the door with her shotgun. Jaden finally realizes what's going on and starts looking around for something to use. Gabriel aims his weapon at the floor and unloads his magazine into it. It takes him quite a bit of time, but you can see the floor starting to deteriorate. Maybe you should help. Use another block of C4. You have it for a reason. As you pull out your block of C4, everyone stops firing and takes a step back. Plant the C4 on the shot-up floor and take a step back, along with everyone else before pulling out the detonator and pulling the trigger. Boom! A huge explosion erupts as the floor finally collapses down to the floor below, creating a gaping hole large enough for everyone to go through. Raquel, Gabriel, Michael says. Gabriel looks to you and gives you a thumbs up. Nice work. Raquel and Gabriel quickly rush over to the hole and jump through it to the floor below. You hear a loud crash, the sound of glass shattering. Ah, fuck. You take a peek into the hole and see Gabriel standing in the middle of a shattered glass table, pointing his rifle at someone. There you are, my little Fred! He sneezes. Michael looks at Caden and says, Lock the door. Caden nods, rushes to the door, and quickly locks it from the inside. Won't be getting in here, Caden says. Let's say hello to our VIP. Michael says as he casually jumps down to the floor below. The rest of you followed him down the hole. You land on your feet in the middle of a broken glass table. You step out of it, careful not to step on any of the broken glass edges. You look and see Gabriel angrily walking over to the person you've been looking for. A young man with sleek black hair and a business suit. His eyes look red and he doesn't appear to be scared. And then you smell something weird in the room. The smell almost messes with your minds as you realize you smell drugs. Lots of them. Andrew Orchard. Gabriel shouts. Hey, how's it going, dude? Andrew says, You're coming with me. Me. Achoo! Gabriel sneezes hard. Whoa, you okay, man? Andrew says nonchalantly. Shut up! We're kidnapping you! Gabriel angrily shouts as he quickly grabs him by the collar and yanks him towards the center of the room. Gabriel, contact us when you land. Michael tosses him a radio. Gabriel catches it and says, I will. Just be sure to get there fast. He starts taking off his body armor, revealing all the bullet wounds he's taken, and he starts assembling the harness of the parachute he's been using as a backpack this whole time. Gabriel, the ropes, Michael says. Oh, right. Gabriel opens the backpack and pulls out a couple of really long ropes and tosses them to Michael. Wait, you're not Vancorp? Are you? Andrew says, looking at you with his bloodshot eyes. Just shut up and hold on. Gabriel frustratedly picks up Andrew over his shoulder, crouches, and gets ready to charge out the window. Okay. Where are we going again? Andrew asks. As far from here as we can, Gabriel mutters. Good luck, everyone. Then he screams a war cry as he barrels towards the window. Whoa, wait! Andrew cries. Now both of them are screaming as they rush towards the window. Gabriel going faster and faster with each step until finally, crack! Ah, my head! Gabriel shouts as he slams against the window hard before coming to a sudden halt. The window didn't shatter. Instead, it merely cracked. Ah, my spine! Andrew shouts. What the hell just happened? Michael asks. Just then, you hear banging on the door in the hallway. The door you all so desperately and unsuccessfully tried to open. They're trying to get in, Aiden shouts. Don't worry. Not even they can get in here, Gabriel says. Then he grunts and stands back up. I just realized something. What's wrong? Aiden asks. I think any floor above the 80th floor is fitted with high security measures. Blast-proof doors, the reinforced windows. Gabriel looks at Andrew. You paid for a high security room, didn't you? You. Andrew chuckles and then he grunts in pain, holding his back. Then I just said, screw it. Give me the most expensive room you got, he says. Gabriel sighs and looks at Michael expectantly. Michael, could you drill a hole with your machine gun? Michael nods, make sure they don't get near. They don't get through the door, he says as he walks over to the window and places the barrel of his machine gun a few inches away from the crack and starts firing at it. Bang, bang, bang. I know I'm not very good at gun sounds, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, Gabriel looks at everyone and sighs. How's everyone doing? Raquel shrugs. Aiden raises a thumb. I'm running out of ammo. I'm good, you respond. When Michael finishes unloading his ammo into the window, he takes a step back. Where there was once a crack, there's now a small hole. Michael takes a step back and kicks the window. The hole grows a little bigger, but just barely. Gabriel looks at Michael and says, I can't crash through that. Michael looks at Gabriel and says, I can. No way. I won that rock, paper, scissors, fair and square. Gabriel protests as he grabs the straps of his parachute. Gabriel, you know Vancorp and this building better than any of us combined. You haven't even used a parachute in years, Michael says, holding his open hand out to Gabriel. But I won the rock, paper, scissors, Gabriel says, gripping his parachute. Gabriel, Michael continues to hold out his hand. Michael, Gabriel protests. Andrew, your VIP shouts. Shut up! Gabriel slams the butt of his rifle into the side of his head, knocking him out almost immediately. He sighs and shouts, Fine, you owe me. Takes off his parachute and hands it over to Michael. I'll buy you some McDonald's, Michael says as he takes the parachute and puts it on his back. He tosses the rope from before to Gabriel. Gabriel catches the rope and says, Jaden, tie this to the strongest thing you can find. He tosses one of the ropes to Caden. Michael hoists Andrew's unconscious body over his shoulder and says, I'll see you all at the rendezvous point. Stay alive. No, you stay alive. I want my cheeseburger, damn it. Gabriel says as he searches the room for something strong and securely fixed in place. Michael turns to the shattered security glass, takes a few steps back, and begins running towards it. The steps are much heavier than Gabriel's. He picks up speed, momentum, and energy as he charges through the window. Crash! The window shatters as Michael and your VIP charge through and fall off the side of the building. You take a moment to walk over to the now glassless window, and you see Michael opening his parachute and gliding off into the distance, away from the tower. Turn back to see Gabriel and Caden attaching the ropes to something you can't quite see in the bathroom. Wait, what if they burst into the room and cut the ropes? Caden asks. 1, you're not stupid enough to go straight to murder. 2, if we couldn't get that door, through that door, it'll be almost as hard for them to get through, Gabriel says as he takes the other end of the rope and walks over to the open room. And they don't seem to have some sort of key card to grant them all access, Aiden says. They do, but Justin's making sure their key cards are invalid, Gabriel explains. No, not for long, Mouse says through your earpiece. Justin says someone is trying to deny him access. He won't be able to keep them all forever. Then we better get going. He holds onto his rope and checks its integrity. What exactly are we doing with these? Caden asks. We need to rappel down to the 79th floor, where the windows aren't as tough and security is probably less tight, Gabriel says. He taps his earpiece and says, Mouse, I need you to scan the 79th floor. Tell me if you can see security. You hear Mouse over your earpiece saying, 79th floor seems clear. Almost all of Amcorp's security personnel are converging on the floor you're on. Gabriel, I've never rappelled down anything before, Aiden says. Don't worry. Me and Raquel will go down first. Sorry. Don't worry. Me and Raquel will go first. The rest of you just follow us down. Let me make sure it's something. Okay. He picks up his body armor and begins assembling it again. Raquel, help Caden with his rope. Raquel nods and walks over to Caden. She grabs the free end of the rope and starts wrapping it around his waist, making a rappelling harness with the rope itself. Gabriel starts doing the same as with you. He wraps the rope around your waist and hands you one end of it. Hold on to this. This is your brake line. Do not let go of this line. You've never done this before, but you can take a guess as to how it works. However, this could mean the difference between life or death. Then he hands you the other side of the rope. This is the guideline. Literally. Use this to descend. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. He grabs the pile of ropes and throws it out the window. Raquel does the same with Caden's line. Raquel, you know I don't understand. Raquel, no, I don't understand your sign language, right?
You hear Raquel sighing as she throws the rope out of the window.
All right, so me and Raquel will go first. You two stay here. Everyone ready? Gabriel asks.
Definitely not. Caden chuckles nervously.
Awesome. Raquel?
Gabriel looks at Raquel and they nod at each other. They each grab the end of your ropes and say,
Just follow what we do.
and he jumps out of the window, backwards. The rope slides between your harness and it pulls you unexpectedly towards the open window. Try to hold back as you slowly make your way to the window. You take a quick glimpse as how high it is, and you are way, way up in the tower. When I first signed up, I never mentioned rappelling down the side of a darn building, Hayden says as he looks through the window. You see below Raquel and Gabriel rappelling down the rope a couple stories down. Gabriel's giving hand signals to Raquel, and the two of them jump, pushing themselves off the building. Then you see Gabriel firing his suppressive pistol at the window before crashing through and disappearing into the room 3 floors below. A few seconds later, Gabriel's mask pops out of the window and gives you the gesture to go. You and Caden take a look at each other, and he says, "Good luck, kid." Then he jumps. Then he turns around, facing into the room, and jumps out of the window backwards. You turn around, back facing the open window. The high winds hitting the back of your neck. Take a good look at the destroyed room for a moment before jumping out of the window. Here goes nothing. And we did it. You jump off, and thankfully everything goes right, and you manage to catch your footing on the window on the floor below. You start rappelling down and see Caden struggling to lower himself down the rope.
Oh shit. Don't look down.
He mutters as he lowers himself down the rope. You look below you and see Gabriel gesturing to both of you, Caden, to slowly rappel further down. You see Caden slowly lowering himself down the rope. Then he jumps into the room with Gabriel. Gabriel looks back to you and urges you to go for it. However, before you can do anything, you fear your rope moving. It stops for a few seconds as the rope suddenly starts loosening. And then, snap! You feel your rope snap as it suddenly goes from tense to relaxed. You grip it tighter, hoping to pull yourself up again. But instead you fall down the side of the building. Within milliseconds, your view changes from the reflection of yourself with the bloody white mask with a broken heart on the glass window to Gabriel, holding his hand out for you to grab. You reach out helplessly as you fall, hoping to catch his hand. Fast. As soon as your fingers touch, he catches your hand and tries to pull you into the room. However, your momentum almost pulls him out of the window. Instead, shit! He grunts as he tries to hold on. He uses one of his hands to keep himself from falling, and you see the sharp remains of the shattered window pierce his waist.
Ah,
Hold on! He pulls you up with all his strength, grunting in pain as blood begins to run down his hand, down to yours.
don't let go.
He shouts, pulling as hard as he can until finally he's pulling you into the room. Suddenly, the two of you are stumbling into safety. Gabriel collapses and you fall on top of him. He lets out a huff of air. Sorry, you say as he groans beneath your weight.
Yeah. Just glad you're safe.
He chuckles as you slide off of him. He groans and he takes a seat on the floor and tries to catch his breath.
Holy shit.
My waist feels numb, he says. You take a breath, trying to regain your bearings. Gabriel looks at you and says,
Well, I guess they didn't reinforce the plumbing.
He pulls the rope up and you see there's a metal pipe tied to it. That was supposed to hold your weight? Raquel walks over to Gabriel and slaps him on the shoulder before pulling out her first aid kit and starting to work on his wrist.
I'm sorry,
Gabriel says. He gets up and dusts himself off before picking up his rifle again. We need to move. Come on, we need to get to the van. He runs over to the door, unlocks it, and rushes out, Weapon drawn. The rest of you prepare your weapons before walking out into the hallway behind Gabriel. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be anyone guarding this floor. Gabriel rushes to the service floor and pushes the button. It takes a few moments for the elevator to arrive. Even before the door opens, Gabriel's already pointing his rifle at it. Never seen him this stressed and tense before. Ding! The door opens, revealing an empty elevator. Gabriel sighs in relief as he walks into the elevator, followed by you and everyone else. You all climb into the service elevator for the fourth time. Gabriel quickly pushes the button for the basement parking lot. Gabriel leans back on the wall of the elevator. He stares off into the distance as he catches his breath. Never seen him this tired before. And you've definitely never seen him this stressed before. Hey, Gabe. You alright? You okay, partner? Hayden says as he takes a seat in the corner of the elevator again. He appears to be perfectly fine. I'll be fine, Gabriel replies. But as he leans back, a trail of blood begins to drip down from his armor and onto the floor below. He's clearly not fine. Caden looks at you and shakes his head, sighing at Gabriel's stubbornness. Do you think the basement is packed with security? Caden asks. I don't know. Let's find out. Gabriel taps his earpiece and says, Mouse, give me a sit rep. What's going on down there? You hear Mouse over the radio. Well, fortunately, the basement's rather empty, but there are at least 2 soldiers guarding the perimeter. Alright, then get ready to take them out as soon as we get there. Right. Bless you. Bless you, Caden says. Thank you, Gabriel says. He taps his earpiece and says, Justin, Mouse, I need the 2 of you at the van now. Start it up as soon as you get there. Raquel nudges Gabriel. He turns to her and she shows him her first aid kit and points to the blood currently dripping down onto his suit. Still standing, aren't I? Barely, Caden says. Yeah, get yourself patched up. Look like you could fall over it at any moment. Gabriel looks to Caden and stares at him for a few seconds before returning to Raquel. I'll be fine. Save her for everyone else. Raquel looks down and sighs before crossing her arms and leaning back against the wall. You all quiet down and try your best to get a temporary rest. Everyone's visibly tired. To be honest, so are you. You've never fought your way through and back from something this long in your life. Even Raquel, who's been trying to stand up straight this whole time, looks visibly beaten, although she's hiding it as best she can, more than everyone else. You hear Gabriel chuckle as he leans back against the wall. Look at him and see him staring into the unknown, chuckling at something that you can't seem to see. Combined with the blood pouring down his vest and his white and bloody red smiley face mask, it almost gives you the shivers. What's wrong? Hayden says. Gabriel pulls out a small yellow nylon rope and says, I forgot to assemble Michael's quick release for the parachute. He stares, chuckling louder and louder. Hayden smiles and begins to chuckle along with him. Won't that be dangerous? There's still a line holding his 3-ring system, but he can't release it. He starts laughing. He's probably out there somewhere on top of a tree or a power line. He can't get down. Gabriel sneezes so hard that his mask almost slides off. Oh shit.
He catches it and readjusts it. Ding! Basement. The door opens up and Gabriel quickly turns serious as he readies his rifle and walks out of the elevator. You, Raquel, and Caden follow behind him. Gabriel looks around the hallway and at first glance it appears empty. He turns to the right toward the parking lot and suddenly you hear a couple of footsteps behind you. Gabriel quickly turns around and Gabriel quickly turns around and aims his rifle right next to your head. You quickly duck and look behind you, and you see two guards casually walking around the corner. As soon as they see Gabriel, they stop and quickly pull their rifles up to aim. However, bang, bang, bang! Gabriel quickly dispatches one of them with a shot through the chest. Caden, who's standing behind him, quickly has both of his pistols out of their holster, and in the blink of an eye, and bang, bang! He fires two shots at the other guards. One to the chest, one to the top collarbone. The two of them fall to the ground, one of them grunting in pain and the other not moving at all. Gabriel turns and whispers loudly, "Shit, let's go!" He starts running down the hallway toward the parking lot. You quickly pick up the pace as you run down the hallway, but then you hear bang, bang, bang! Gunshots explode behind you as the bullets fly past you. Return fire. With the Ronald Reagan. You aim down your rifle down the hall and pull the trigger. Bang, bang, bang! Fire off your weapon and a few of them take cover. Turn around after successfully suppressing them and trying to make it around the corner. You manage to make it around the corner as the bullets strike the wall and floor tiles around you. Hayden turns around as he runs around the corner and starts blindly firing his MP90 down the hall. Go, I'll cover you, he shouts to you. You get yourself up and dash off toward Gabriel as he rushes off to the parking lot, which you remember as the place where Caden parked the van. You see Mount standing outside the van holding his pistol. He sees you and shouts, "Come on!" Then you see Justin in the distance, sprinting across the parking lot from the security room. He currently has his pistol out and is dashing straight for the van. Gabriel turns and shouts, "Raquel, smoke!" Raquel pulls out a smoke grenade and tosses it to Gabriel, who catches it and immediately pulls the pin before throwing it down the hallway where you were running from. He turns around to start running again, but then he falls forward and quickly to the ground, grunting in pain as he quickly tries to pull himself back up. You can see the blood dripping down below him, his wounds beginning to set in as he quickly stands up, barely keeping himself upright. Justin reaches the van and hops inside. Gabriel gets into the driver's seat as Justin and Mouse hop into the back. As Caden covers your retreat, you dash to the van just as Mouse opens the front passenger door for you from the inside. Jump in and close the door. Gabriel puts the car into gear and stomps the pedal. Vroom! The engine roars as Gabriel drives the car out of the parking spot and peels it across the basement floor towards Caden and Raquel. Justin opens the back door before Caden and Raquel jump into the rear cargo compartment. Just as a few guards rush around the corner and open fire at the van, Gabriel aggressively navigates around the maze that is the basement parking lot, while Caden and Raquel fire out the back of the van. You see Caden hanging onto the roll cage inside the van. "Would you mind taking it easy there?" he shouts. "Yeah, sure. You want to get shot?" Gabriel replies. Look him over and see that he's been shot. Multiple times, in fact. The fact that he's still alive is a wonder. He doesn't seem all that well. His head is drooping forward, and from the amount of blood currently filling the driver's seat, you don't know how he keeps going. Don't say anything, just shoot out the window. You rise from your seat carefully. Carefully climb halfway out the window and aim behind the van. Gabriel treats the van like an untamed horse as he skids the car around the corner, almost clipping your head on a sign at high speed. Try to stabilize your bottom half inside the van while your top half hangs out of the window. What weapon would you like to use there?
Ronald Reagan, of course. You aim down the scope of your rifle and pull the trigger. Bang, bang! Fire your weapon at the guards, and you see one of them fall to the ground, while the rest run for cover. One of them, however, returns fire. You quickly take cover back in the van and try to hold on as Gabriel navigates through the parking lot. The bullets fly through the windshield and hit the seats. Thankfully, none of them catch you. Then you hear Mouse crying in pain. Ow! Bloody hell! Turn and see him holding his shoulder as he fires out of the back of the van with his pistol. Gabriel quickly drifts the car around the corner as it reaches the intersection that leads to the exit. You try to hold on as the car whips around everyone in the back seat to the left side of the van. The van's front tires hit the ramp. Gabriel stomps the gas, sending the van flying out of the basement parking lot and onto the streets of Chicago. The van flies through the air for a few seconds, several inches off the ground, before it comes crashing down onto the pavement. You hold on tight as Gabriel slams the wheel to the right, straight into daytime traffic. In the distance, you see a few motorcycles coming towards you. Then you realize they're all carrying firearms. One of them pulls out an MP5K and aims right at you, but then Caden replies with a quick draw of his pistol and bang! He fires a bullet into the motorcyclist's front tire. She loses control of her motorcycle and immediately falls off. She face plants the asphalt and skids across it, creating a domino effect as she gets run over by the motorcyclist behind her. And he too falls off his motorcycle before getting run over by the Jeep behind him. It's the outfit. They think we have him, Gabriel shouts from the driver's seat. Why don't we just tell them we don't? Gabriel asks as he fires out of the back of the van at more motorcyclists coming towards you. Good idea. You want to stop and explain it to them, Gabriel says as he readies his pistol. Caden reloads his pistol, then looks to you and says, We're clear to kill these guys, right? He looks at Gabriel. Right? Go right ahead. Gabriel shouts as he aims his pistol behind him, using his mirror to aim. Thump! He fires, hitting one of the motorcyclists right in the shoulder. He falls off his motorcycle and crashes. One of the motorcyclists swerved left and rushed towards the side of your van on Gabriel's side, trying to get around in front of you. Fire at him with the pistols. You aim your pistols and pull the trigger. Bang, bang, bang. You fire and you hit him right in the shoulder. He loses control and swerves into oncoming traffic before getting run over by a truck. Oh, there's a lot of people dying. The last motorcyclist begins driving up to the back of the van, carefully trying to evade shots from Mouse, Justin, and Caden. He successfully evades the shots and manages to come up to your side. See him trying to come up to your window. He's trying to pull out his Uzi. Quick, do something. Shoot him. Again, with the pistols. Pull out your pistols and aim directly at him. Before he can pull out his weapon, you pull the trigger. Bang, 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 bang. You fire and hit him in the shoulder. He grabs it and grunts in pain. Then he realizes he's not holding onto his motorcycle. His motorcycle swerves and he falls off. Crashes onto the asphalt as his helmet immediately shatters. He slides under the van and you feel the van shifting as if running over a bump as Gabriel runs over him. Bang, bang, bang! Bang! A few shots come from behind you. You hear the bullets piercing through the back of the van and into the cabin. Ah, shit! Gabriel turns around and fires back with his pistols as he drives. Justin, switch with me! He carefully puts the van in neutral and then he gets up and climbs into the back seat as Justin carefully gets into the driver's seat, taking over. You turn around and see 3 black SUVs with tinted windows. One of them has someone hanging out the window and shooting at the van. However, Aiden fires at him and he quickly gets back into the van. Gabe, what exactly are we doing? Aiden asks. Get to the rendezvous point. We need to pick up Michael, Gabriel says as he reloads his rifle.
Let them get close, and we need to stop them from following us, not keep them back. As soon as the three black SUVs close in, Gabriel opens fire into the windshields, and with only two bullets, the SUV swerves into oncoming traffic and collides head on with the garbage truck. Other SUV got too close and manages to swerve around the side of the van, making its way to your side. Raphael, Gabriel shouts, your side. Yes, Caden replies. Not you. You. Gabriel looks at you. You. He turns back and fires at the last SUV as they try to zigzag, evading the shots. Look out the window behind you, and sure enough, an SUV is currently trying to overtake you. They don't appear to be shooting at you yet. Shoot at the driver's windshield with the AR-15. You pull out your rifle and aim straight at the driver's window. Not knowing where he is, you hope your shots will hit him. Pull the trigger in. Bang, 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 bang! You fire off the rounds and you see blood squirting out of the glass. The SUV swerves away from you as it drifts onto the sidewalk and crashes into a tree, stopping them in their tracks. You put away your rifle and continue driving. Gabriel looks around the perimeter, then to Raquel. Raquel, could you please hold pressure on the wound behind my neck? Raquel sighs and puts her gloved hand over the bloody wound on the back of his neck, right beside his spine. Gabriel grunts his pain as he continues to keep watch out of the back of the van. Eventually, you make it off the freeway, with you, Mouse, Gabriel, Raquel, and Caden watching the perimeter around the van, and Justin driving. We lost them, Gabriel says as he pats you on the shoulder. Turn right here. I think we're nearing the drop zone, he tells Justin, pointing to an intersection. He guides you down a small street and into an alleyway. Down the way, you see a piece of sky blue fabric hanging from a fire escape a few stories above the ground. And under it, hanging by a few ropes, is Michael with your VIP, Andrew, holding on to him. Justin stops the van in the middle of the alleyway, and Gabriel hops out along with everyone else. Don't say it, Michael shouts as Gabriel walks beneath him. Don't you dare say it. How's it hanging? Gabriel chuckles and Michael sighs. I will kill you, Michael says. Holy shit, I'm high, Andrew says, desperately holding on to Michael as the two of them hang from the parachute, quite a number of feet above the ground. I'm high, and I'm really high, he shouts, nervously chuckling. Keep talking and you won't be, Michael says, and Andrew quickly shuts up. You now realize there's a knife and a revolver on the ground below him. They seem to have fallen off of him. Just stay still. Gabriel readies his rifle and aims directly at him. Casually, Michael leans his head to the side as Gabriel aims at one of the ropes. Take your time, please, Michael says as Gabriel takes a moment to aim. It takes him a few seconds, then bang! The shot fires and misses the strap, hitting the wall of the alley behind him. Stay still, Gabriel shouts as he takes aim for a second shot. I'm not doing a goddamn thing. Stop trying and give someone else a chance. Preferably someone who's not shot to hell and back, Michael shouts angrily. Gabriel sighs and then walks over to lean against the wall and catch his breath. Holding onto his vest, Raquel goes over and tends to him for a moment. Kaden looks at you and shrugs. Wanna try? Sure, I'll try. You walk beneath Michael and look up at him as he dangles above you. Whatever you do, do it quick. My legs are going numb from this harness, Michael says. You assess the situation, trying to figure out what you can do to help bring Michael down. He's currently hanging in the alleyway with two lines holding him up, attached to the edge of his parachute on both sides of the alleyway. All you need to do is cut one of the lines so Michael and Andrew can swing to one side, grab into the fire escape. What would you like to do?
Shooting would just be kind of dull. So let's see. Try to think of a way to bring him down using tactics. You look around and try your best to think of a plan to get Michael down. Start harming the two of them. There's a gas pipe running on one side of the alleyway up to the roof, right beside the two of them. You also see a long pole with a brush on the other end, probably used to wash windows. Brain blast, we got it. You go over and pick up the long window cleaning pole and see if it can reach to Michael. As you fully extend it and lift it up to him, you can see that he does. He grabs onto the brush end of the pole and he begins to push him to the side, towards the fire escape. Nice thinking, Gabriel says with a nod of approval. Michael grabs onto the rails of the fire escape and pulls himself over along with Andrew, then takes off the harness and begins descending the fire escape with the VIP. I'm sorry, I genuinely forgot about the quick release, Gabriel says as he picks up the knife and revolver off the ground. Mikhail walks over to the fire escape with a blindfold. Michael and Andrew climb down the fire escape and Gabriel hands him his knife and revolver. Michael holsters them and looks at Andrew. Close your eyes. What? Andrew looks around before Raquel quickly wraps the blindfold over his eyes. He tries to take it off, but Michael grabs his hands and pulls them behind his back and starts tying them. Whoa, you okay? Easy there. At least take me out to dinner first. Raquel slams her fist into his crotch. Ow! He opens his mouth as he roars in pain, and Raquel inserts the barrel of her pistol into it. Oh! He lets out a muffled grunt. Gabriel produces a roll of duct tape from his vest and begins wrapping it around his mouth, with the barrel of the pistol still inside, temporarily holding the gun in his mouth. All right, let's get going, Gabriel says. Raquel pulls out a pair of earbuds connected to a U-pod and plugs them into Andrew's ears before pulling him toward the van by the pistol, currently duct taped to his mouth. Caden hops into the driver's seat as Raquel pushes Andrew into the back of the van. Everyone else gets into the van and Caden drives out of the alleyway, heading in a direction you're not familiar with. A few minutes later, the van comes to a very quiet and empty neighborhood, and eventually stops in front of an abandoned-looking apartment building. The crack in the wall tells its age, and the wooden boards over the windows tell the story. Michael looks to Gabriel and Raquel and says, Gabriel, Raquel, you know what to do. Gabriel and Raquel nod and push Andrew out of the van. Then Raquel escorts him to the abandoned building. Gabriel looks at you and says, Come with me. He gestures for you to follow. What are we doing? Well, I want to know if you can do something, he says. You hop out of the van and follow him into the building. However, as you do, you hear the van driving off behind you. Don't worry about them. They'll be at the mill. Now, let's see how good you are at extracting information, Gabriel says as the two of you walk into the building. He raises his mask and takes off his sunglasses, putting them into one of the many pockets on his vest. You catch a glimpse of his ever so calm blue eyes, which give you a glance before he lowers his mask again. Raquel is currently leading Andrew upstairs, holding the gun in his mouth and pulling him up. The four of you walk up to the third floor and make your way into an empty apartment. The three of you walk Andrew into a room, which only has one window, a heater that you assume doesn't work, a chair, and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. The walls are colorless and cracked, showing that this place hasn't been occupied in a long time. As Raquel makes sure that Andy's blindfold and noise-canceling earbuds are still okay, Gabriel turns to you and quietly says, Okay, so Raquel will leave the room. I want you to give this guy a good scare. Make him talk, but don't hurt him. If you think he needs a little loosening out, just walk out of the room and tell Raquel that she's needed. Raquel sits Andrew down in the chair and leaves him there. He looks to Gabriel and Gabriel nods. Raquel takes off the earbuds and blindfold. Whoa. He suddenly pulls the gun out of his mouth, ripping off the tape around his lip and cheeks. Ah! Damn it, be gentle. Raquel turns around and walks out of the room. Gabriel looks at you and says,
So, today's lesson is interrogation.
I wish we had a subject that was less under the influence, but it'll do. Gabriel turns to Andrew. Hey, nobody influences me, Andrew says as he tries to break free from the ropes holding his hands together behind his back. You detect the very pungent smell of narcotics around his face. It almost gets you high just being in close proximity to him. He's currently high, so this will either be very easy or very hard. Gabriel sighs and he pulls out his suppressed pistol. I'll be watching. You can do whatever you wish to him. Just don't kill him. He takes a few steps back and leans against the wall, arms crossed. You look at Andrew, who's looking back at you expectantly. His bloodshot eyes stare at you with disgust. Then he leans back with bravado. You think you can break me? He starts chuckling. You better have a medium ready, because the only way I'll talk is if I'm in the afterlife. He looks at you with a smirk. You look to Gabriel, who's just waiting for you to reply. He nods, giving you the green light to do your thing. You look back to Andrew, who's also waiting for you to reply. He doesn't seem to be aware of his position. Maybe you should remind him where he stands. Whew. All right. All right, I think that's what we'll end it for today. Right on interrogation, so we can open up next episode with the interrogation. I didn't think that the tower was going to take a full hour, but I guess it darn did. Oh, man. All right, I want to thank you guys for coming out and hanging out and listening to another reading. These things are fun to do voices with. Even though this one's taken a lot longer than the other one did. I don't know if it's because I'm just taking a while. Or like if I'm just reading slow or I'm not reading as long, I'm not sure. I wish I knew. I don't know anymore. Jesus. Sorry, I'm just checking how long ago it was that I started this thing. 2 months ago, and we did the other one in like about a month, I guess. A month and a half, almost 2 months. I know we're not even halfway. Holy Jiba Liba. This one long. It's a long one. Jeez. Okay, well, either way, we'll continue next Monday. Tomorrow, I'll be back with, I think, some more Advance Wars. Now we can actually get the Green Earth campaign started. And then after that, we get the final assault on Black Hole HQ. So, yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully I don't screw up big. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. I'll see you maybe tonight later, Dying Light or Apex. I'm hoping for Dying Light. But we'll just see. So maybe I'll see you on later tonight. But if not, then I'll definitely see you tomorrow. So I want you guys to have a great and awesome rest of your day. Stay frosty, and I'll catch you on the other side of the day. Adios.